Listen, if you were your best self, these are 5 things that you would never do. And at a point, they will become natural. So what are they? And what's the harm in doing them? I will discuss all of that today. But before we move forward, I want to say hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Karina and I make videos to be a milestone for you to become your best possible self. Whether that includes the way you dress, the way you feel, your mentality, your finances, how you dress, all of the above. And I also put together a program called the $1 Million Lady, which you can join down below, which talks about all of this in detail. So now let's move on. There is a big difference between successful people and non-successful people. And successful people are always striving to be their best self. And these are 5 things they won't even think about doing. The first thing is you would not take anything personally. And I mean anything. There are so many people who get easily offended and triggered, not even by really big life-changing events, which makes sense for a certain period of time because all of us go through life and there's ups and downs, but they get triggered by silly little things such as videos, comments, even their friends or acquaintances, or some type of negativity, or a random stranger maybe on the freeway or at work or in the office, and they take it personally and from an emotional kind of a negative spot. That's this person perhaps has a vendetta against them. Maybe they are not supportive, they don't care, they don't love, all of that. Most of that negativity from other people has nothing to do with you. People project. They project what they feel inside onto others. So when they are judgmental, when they're hateful, when they are negative or unsupportive, it's not because they don't think you can do it. It's because they have fears of themselves. And if you become an emotional vacuum for everyone else's emotional baggage, that really will drag you down. And you will take these opinions personally, and you won't be able to move forward in your life. So if that is you, then realize that it doesn't matter. You will forget about this 2 years, 5 years, and people will work out their imperfections themselves. They really shouldn't be taking it out on people, but they are. Another thing is, it's no one else's responsibility to make you feel happy, to make you feel supported and whole, although that is a huge bonus and it's great when we have family members or significant others or friends that are there for us in that way. But trust me when I say everything you need is inside of you. Everything you need is already available to you. And when you are whole and complete and dependent on yourself and you know deep inside you are whole, you're not going to need others to kind of fill any holes and voids in you. If that's the case, you will always feel empty. But when you are confident in yourself and you know that you can do anything, those are the types of people you're going to attract. And you'll notice that, wow, all of a sudden there's all of these supportive people around you. But that's not because you're succeeding and they're helping you. It's because you are successful on your heart and on your soul, and they're just coming along into your life because like attracts like. The next thing that your best self would not do is have low standards and low expectations of life. What is the point of doing something if you're not expecting the best from it? If you're not expecting fun and an experience and a fulfilling thing from it, then why even do it? What's the point of living if we just wake up every day and expect the worst or accept negative things, accept low standards? Maybe we're not there yet, and that's completely fine because we all start from somewhere, but that doesn't mean we don't deserve it, because we do, especially if we are always constantly working on ourselves. And I strongly suggest that you do, because the more you work on yourself, the more amazing things you will attract. So I always preach to have a first-class life. It has nothing to do with money, but everything to do with your internal appearance. The third thing that your best self would never do is have an external locus of control. And instead, you will have an internal locus of control, meaning that you accept everything that happens around you as your responsibility and your fault. A lot of people blame other circumstances, other people. Traffic was bad, that person is mean, someone else got the job because of a connection. I can't do this because I'm not pretty. Successful people get this. Only people that have money do this. All of these excuses, all of that is excuses. There are so many cases of people starting from absolutely nothing and achieving everything. And if they can do it, so can you. The difference is the locus of control, viewing things from a victim mentality, that things are happening to me, right? It's their fault, it's his fault, it's the world's fault. I'm just not dealt the right cards, versus having an internal locus of control and accepting anything that happens to you and saying things are happening for me. They're happening for me to teach me a lesson, to make me better, to build me up higher, for me to be more resilient, for me to prove that I am deserving of this goal and I'm going to keep fighting because that's who I am and I'm going to get it. That's the mentality that will bring you everything. And no matter how bad the situation is, that is the mentality that will get you out of anything. The fourth thing that your best self would never do is settle for less in a relationship. For example, to be chasing men, to be texting first all the time, to be begging for breadcrumbs and attention, to be okay with the man doing suspicious activity or not giving you the time of day. There's so many red flags in relationships, and people tend to accept them because they think they're not deserving, because they don't have enough confidence, and that is very damaging. You don't feel confident, but you also don't want to leave this person because you feel like without them it's going to be in a worse situation, and maybe the good times are good enough that keep you sticking around. But in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be a life of stress, early wrinkles, little sleep, and always worrying. And you don't deserve that. You deserve to work on yourself so that you can attract the best partner who's going to meet all of your standards, or try to, and treat you with respect and dignity and as an equal and nothing less. And the last thing that your best self wouldn't do is fill your mind with stagnation or anything negative. We have to be very, very conscious of the things we pay attention to, the things we fill our mind up with, the books we're reading, the shows we're watching, the things we're scrolling through on social media, the type of conversations we have with our friends, the type of friends we have, right? Is your friend group actually a good friend group? Or what are their interests? Are their interests something that grows them? Or are they just interested in cheap thrills and gossiping and just being involved in the latest drama and having unhealthy habits such as drinking every weekend and things like that? Because that's not going to move you forward in life at all. I know it's something that a lot of kind of younger generation think is like the cool and fun thing to do, but I've never personally had that phase, and I am glad I never wanted to, because there's so much more to life than that. All of that is empty, cheap thrills, and not something that will move you forward and ahead. So take these into account and let's reverse them and do the things that I talked about. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, check out my program below, and I'll see you in the next video.